So we are live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. As the stream is showing, or the title is showing, fall is coming. So what would be a better opportunity or better moment than already start working on some ideas? So some ideas are most definitely already, of course, pumpkin. But what to do with it? Besides coffee. What else would be interesting? What if we make a pasta? So pumpkin, walnut pasta. So besides pumpkins, So, Brussels sprouts. Oh yeah, I can do that. Just Brussels sprouts with just roasted. Just something simple. Cauliflower rice could be a thing. Cauliflower rice with carrots. Cauliflower. What if we do cauliflower? Well, couscous rice is same. Make more Mediterranean dish out of it. So paprika. Paprika, carrots, vegetables. Well, so since beetroot is a thing, beetroots, we make a nice borscht, roasted beetroots. Heavily roasted, carrots glazed with honey caramel, honey caramel. Fuck. Okay. So, carrots with honey glaze. Glaze with honey. Cabbages in cabbage. We can make sauerkraut. Just seeing how that is. Looks pretty interesting. Kimchi, cabbage. Oh, we can make cauliflower. We can make like a cauliflower dish out of it. So pickles, cauliflower, cream, puree, some spinach, spinach leaves, and we can use the roasted Brussels sprouts for that. And then add an vinaigrette. Okay. Apples are in season, so apples would be apple pie, apple thing. What if we apple thing? Right, apple something. Hey, welcome, Quick Fix. Roasted cauliflower wings. So that is what? You roast the cauliflower with wing sauce, or more like you make the cauliflower and shape it like a wing? Cauliflower wings. That could be barbecue marinade around it. Barbecue marinated. Oh wait, just. Oh, what if you make curry marinated? Curry spiced. And then, so you have this piece of cauliflower. Oh yeah, and then beer batter would be a nice one. That gets nice around it. Oh, that is a nice one. Beer batter. What kind of sauce would you serve with that? Barbecue sauce? No. Not only. Garlic. That sounds pretty good actually. Brussels sprouts is a complicated one though. Just to do stuff with Brussels sprouts. Some dip. Yeah, garlic only. Or would you spice it up more? Since it's curry. Like, I think one dip. Barbecue dip perhaps. Ooh, what if you make it ras al hanout? Marinated with a garlic aioli dip and a curry spice dip. Keep the Mediterranean thing going. That would be interesting. Roasted. Yeah, I can see that one. Ooh, that's actually really good. Well, thanks for the suggestion, bro. It's actually, I haven't seen it that much around here. I mean, I know that's, what is it? Cauliflower steaks are a thing, but not so much as the, what is it? As like having wings dip. You can even make it vegan dip. Oh, and tempura dip you would make the vegan version. Tempura for vegan option. And then it's also gluten free. Nice. See, now we're talking gluten free. Okay. Pears will be tatin. Pears in mullet wine, of course. Cuchucano. Oh, I think. Oh, that would be nice though if you make like in the beer batter some cuchucano. So in the batter plus sumac, cuchucano for some spice. Oh, that's actually really nice. So I marinated just in the wings. You cut them in pieces marinate them overnight in some rasa nude, and then you add sumac or gochugaru in the batter. Oh, that's actually makes it nice spicy. Gives a nice color to it, spice. I think that would be an interesting combination. That would be a really good combination, actually. Well, thanks for the suggestion, man. Like, that's really cool. That's something I really should need to try. That sounds really good. So, carrots. Where did I have the carrots? Oh, here. What is it? Carrots, puree, of course, carrot puree. All with the oven roasted pumpkins. Some walnuts on it. That's actually pretty nice. Okay, that. Need something. Pumpkin powder in the middle, some chunks of roasted pumpkin, some walnuts on over. What would you add to that? Ooh, some marinated cranberries on it. Cranberries. Something fermented to this would be nice. And what if you make our sauce? So you got carrot puree in the middle, pumpkins around it. Oh, what if we do pickled beetroot to that? Then you got red and orange, a few ones, cranberries. That sounds pretty good, actually. I can live with that. I think the first thing that I will make is most definitely this we're gonna highlight. Let's see. This is a good idea. This is a really good idea. Is that the one? Oh, yeah, nice color. Let's go with turquoise for like important. It's gray as well. Fuck it. Some grapes. What is it? Bourillons. What would be bourillons in English? Bourillons. Rum raisins? I guess so. Having maybe some rum raisin. Apple. rum raisins with... Thank you, Quicks. I will sure keep an eye out, and then maybe you will see it coming by. Have a nice day. I hope you have a nice day, man. Thanks for your contribution. Rum raisin. Apple. Bonbon. Sweet potato chips, of course. Cilantro, not chives thing. Maybe some more fruit. Ooh, passion fruit season. Oh. Figs. See, so apples will be tarts. Fig syrup. Oh, but what? Not with apple. Plum tart I'm gonna make already. Passion fruit dessert. You can do so much with passion fruit that I will just leave it as it is. Quincy, yeah. Citrus. Was citrus. Citrus never goes out of season, so what if we make citrus cheesecake with passion fruit gel? Oh, that's quite nice. Blackberry serving, blackberry ginger ale. See, so that's nice. Quince. Oh, cheese plate. Quince, jam, cheese plate. What is it? Oh, Berliner Bowl. Berliner Bowl. Quince cream. It's actually really good. I want to do something with chestnuts. Wait, let's. What did I say? Chestnuts, mushroom, tortellettes, balsamico. beetroots and onions, of course. Onion soup, onion. Peas. For October, November. Parsnip. Ooh, of course, parsnip will be coming as well. Parsnip and parsley root. Parsnip puree. Steak. Fried parsnip. Issue. Parsnip soup. These are some good ideas. Garlic. So what else would be possible with milk? Of course, cauliflower is soup as well, but you know that's nothing too exciting. Let's change the music for a bit. I like this, but this might be a little bit better. Radish. Celery we're gonna avoid. Ah. Nice. Okay. Huh. Okay. Shell balls. Huh. Okay. I guess so. Fuck it in. Okay, we were doing something. I'm gonna make moussaka already. Okay, so this is spice. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so pumpkin spice ratios. I will always work in ratios. So 3 parts cinnamon, 2 parts ginger, 1 part nutmeg, 1 part cloves. Uh-huh. So 4. Okay. Da, 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 da. That's good. So panna cotta, 1 500 milliliter cream, 20 gram pumpkin spice, 5 grams agar, perhaps. Five grams of that. 2 grams agar. 50 grams sugar. That's actually not bad. Da, 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 da. White chocolate pumpkin mousse. So, white chocolate pumpkin mousse. Pumpkin cake as well. Wait, I can add that to the list. It was pretty good actually. Pumpkin cake. pumpkin cake. See the recipe. And what else did we have? Oh, that can be nice. Uh-huh. Chestnut. Chestnut puree. Sauteed mushrooms. Salmico glaze. Okay. Oh, mince. Never. Be right back. Oh, that was the wrong one. That one. Okay, and we're back. Let's see. Okay, so what else? So the Brussels sprouts is like whatever. Let's start off with cauliflower wings. So that was cauliflower pieces. Some nice cauliflower pieces. So that is just a plus nut oil to marinate it in. Beer better, right? So if we're going with the beer batter, in 25 grams of flour, 5 grams baking powder, 3 grams salt, 50 water. It's actually not bad. And then sumac, garu to taste. Needs a hint of it, not too much. Garlic aioli. So the tempura is cornstarch, 3 grams powder, sparkling water. Oh yeah, I remember that one. So then, see the recipe. Curry mayonnaise, curry powder to the beginning. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, down an hour already. Okay, cool. what's next? Okay. Woohoo! What did we have next? Up next, borscht. Borscht recipe roasted. Whatever says end dish. No end dish there, I guess. Oh yeah, we had for the cauliflower still something. Yeah, that looks pretty good. see. Oh, carrots. We can also do what is it? Casserole? Roll. Like the Dutch one. But oh, we will have a few of those. Dutch roots, stamppot, endive, carrots. Oh, that's cool. Okay, and then plus what's there? Rider 2. And it's not that rider, we'll use that rider. Rise up. This is a lot better. Then we can just where was I? Oh yeah, hand spots, stampots, idea. Carrots. Place dish carrot puree. Recipe roasted pumpkin. Feeling. It's important to add some feeling to it. Let's see, what else did we had? Oh, sugar walnuts. Or that might be a bit too sweet. that one. That's there. That's there. Walnuts, roasted, short. Hello, baby. RT. Oh, hey, RTX, baby. How are you doing? Yeah. Woo. Oh, nice. Where are you from, RTX? Wait, what? Oh. How are you doing today? Should go to walnuts. Oh, marinated cranberries, pickled beetroots. Am I losing the stream? No. Beetroots, we got that marinated. Okay. Kimchi, cabbage, recipe. Complicated. Kimchi, cabbage, easier. Sauerkraut. First time making is fun. Onions. So what shall we do with onions? Well, we can make chucrout. Sure. Crout. Oh, and then we add. What shall we add there? Oh, what shall we add there? Nice don't know. Roast. That's the one. Roast. Roasted beef. Mashed potato with sardine. That's really nice, actually. Mousseline. Beef shoot. Well, onion soup. Redo. Onion tartlet. Redo. Also onion tart. Fancy. So the fancy one will have onion caramel. Onion caramel, and then we will add onion, puff pastry, and what else? Yeah, that's about it. Sounds pretty okay. Parsnip. Parsnip soup. Feeling. Parsnip chips. No. Parsnip. Ooh. So, pumpkin, we can add pumpkin tower. Pumpkin tower. what did we have? We had clary, fine butter, pumpkin. I need to steam it though. Let's see if I'm able to actually steam it. This will be an interesting idea. Parsnip. Okay, parsley root, we'll do something with it. Hey, Papi Rico, how are you doing? Fruit, an apple pie. Short crusts, apple, cinnamon, filling. Oh, if we make apple pie, then we're gonna make apple. Oh, not bad, not bad. I mean, trying to figure out some ideas already for the autumn, fall. What I should cook. It's quite a complicated mess at the moment, but apple strudel. Trying to think of already for some winter dishes or like think ahead what shall I cook. Share it with you guys, like seeing small technique or interesting desserts or dishes that would make, whoa, I'm very bright at the moment. So, a bit better. So like somebody else suggested already, cauliflower wings with some sumac or gochugaru, what was it, in the batter, and then with the garlic or curry spiced mayonnaise or aioli, which would be pretty interesting. I'm gonna make a chestnut and mushroom tartlet with some balsamico glaze. I'm gonna try to make white chocolate and pumpkin mousse. So, and mousse and chocolate mousse actually that is flavored with pumpkin. So we boil the pumpkin and then we dry it and then we boil it back again in the cream, and then that cream will be used for making the chocolate mousse. Besides that, of course, then we make our own pumpkin spice as well to complement with it. Well, since winter season is coming, carrots with some oven roasted carrot puree with some oven roasted, and you cannot see it. Oh yeah, okay. With some carrot puree with oven roasted pumpkin. Of course, some walnuts with it would be nice. Thinking about just roasting them and then marinate some cranberries and pickled beetroot on it, like kind of like a nice wintry dish. No, it's not for somebody. It is. I don't. Sadly enough, I don't have a restaurant. Also, I must say, kind of glad that I don't own a restaurant at the moment. Or well, saying that I don't own it is a big thing. So as you can see, I'm on YouTube, and I kind of came up with the idea that the dishes that I'm gonna make, or the videos that I'm gonna make, are gonna be like complete dishes. Before I was just showing how to do things, and now I'm gonna show you like complete restaurant dishes. So like I worked somewhere before where we had, or like I made this a few times, the chestnut mushroom tartlet. It's very interesting. Then the carrot and the white chocolate pumpkin mousse is. I came something up with it, and I'm gonna serve it probably with a pumpkin cake, which is really juicy and tasty. So I'm kind of trading or like using YouTube as an for restaurant dishes, and basically showing you that you can really easily make those kind of dishes at home. Um, so it's kind of like, well, Jamie Oliver would be an example, but it's kind of that idea. Instead of the trendy TikTok videos or like the feta pasta or stuff like that, I'm just gonna show you like dishes that would be restaurant worthy, but that you can make at home. So like MasterChef idea, but then for you just at home to copy and to actually make, it can be quite interesting. Like it's not as complicated as most people think. I'm trying to show everybody actually how easily it can be done without that much effort, or like not put that much spending time in the kitchen. It's like if I would make stuff, it makes me about 30 minutes active cooking, but meanwhile the component needs so much time in between that you basically can do other things. So I'm trying to show people that you can break it up. And with that, I came also to the idea that you actually, well, you can make, like, let's say carrot puree or like oven roasted pumpkin or just a tartlet. You might make a tart often at home, but if you use chestnut and mushrooms, then you actually have something that you could serve a guest or like as a dinner for yourself. It's not as complicated as you think. And no worries, I'm not eating this 5 days a week, but the, um, and it's actually just showing how simple cooking actually can be, and how interesting it can be. Because if you know how to make, let's say, white chocolate pumpkin mousse, right? If you know how to make that, then you can also do it with like a beetroot, or you can use it with many more other components. If you make pumpkin spice, which people just buy from the store around Halloween, I get that, but it's just a few spices mixed together. So if you know that, then maybe you can also make your own drink, or like play a little bit more around it, which would make it a lot more interesting to try things at home. A little bit experiment, even though you don't have time for that all the time, which is more than understandable. Trying to show you as well that you don't, that food is still important. Like I know a lot of people like to spend time differently, going to the gym, sports, going out with friends, and there's less and less time in the world, or you cannot create more time. But food or cooking is kind of, cramped in between. So, DoorDash or Uber Eats and those kind of services became a really big uprise, but they are charging quite a lot of money for food that you can almost make at home as well. And I'm throwing in a little bit of my own twist by making it a little bit more fancy. I work in quite high level restaurants, and I'm just trying to show that it's, well, not as complicated as you might think. And so like I'm trying to come up with now ideas to make. So let's say citrus cheesecake with passion fruit gel that you see often in the supermarkets or bakeries. Now, I can show you that it's maybe not that complicated as you might think. What is your process when sourcing ingredients from home? That's a good question, Larry. Gary, sorry, Gary, Gary and Jerry. My process for sourcing ingredients. Well, so I do need to say I don't live in the States. I live in Finland. So we don't have we have a farmers market, or like we have a market, and I just go there, or I just go to a supermarket where they have a big variety of um, supplies, like special ingredients. Like, for example, I know already that if I want to make chanterelles risotto the other day, that I cannot find it in every supermarket, so I go to the better supermarket. Um, but I also sometimes just go to a forest with a friend and we pick herb. We went like 2 months ago picking herbs. Um, I don't know that much about foresting and picking mushrooms, but that will be a thing as well. And I'm trying to not keep it natural or like, foresting and stuff like that, but I am being reasonable. So I I try to keep it budget friendly, or like that. As you might know, you have differences in quality of food. Yeah, so quality in food. So you have here mushrooms for €5, $5 a kilo, and therefore 15. Now 15 might be, of course, better, but the way I'm looking at it is how much end result make, or how much of a difference make those mushrooms in the entire dish. Because if I'm using mushrooms for stock or risotto, then I fry it. But then if I'm adding chanterelle mushrooms on top, then those chanterelle mushrooms I am working carefully with so that they keep the pure flavor and taste the nicest, as where the other mushrooms will be included as a mass. So the normal mushrooms can cost less because they will just provide the flavor for the risotto, as where the chanterelles will be the main hero, like the extra component. Same goes for meats. As a chicken, trying to look everything in the grander picture. So I don't need the fanciest produce to make it work. A person can only taste 5 things. So once you add like 20 different flavors, then you might not necessarily taste that end. Let's say I'm using on, let's say, cauliflower, not that particular flavorful, but if you add ginger, curry mix, ras al hanout, garlic, then you cut paprika, smoked paprika, then you kind of bury the flavor of the product with all the herbs and spices that you add on. So I'm trying to see more like, okay, I'm making pumpkin raviolis. I'm gonna make pumpkin raviolis, I believe. I said I'm gonna try to make that with some walnuts, and so I'm gonna try to add pumpkin uh, in the dough itself, as well in the filling, so that it will come out nicely balanced as a whole. This might be complicated, but I'm trying to make it seem as a work. If I would make, what did I had in mind? Oh yeah, here, this is a good one. The cauliflower wings, right? So like cauliflower doesn't have that much flavor, but I'm trying to marinate it, but not overpower the product that I'm actually looking for. And I think that's how you should look at it. Um, it can be with literally everything. So if you make panna cotta, nice example. It's just cream, so you can add a lot of flavor to it, but you still want it to taste creamy and not grainy. So dried version of the pumpkin spice, so using a nutmeg powder, clove powder, and those things might give a different texture than when I am boiling whole nutmeg and cloves and ginger into the cream. That might also mean that I need to use a little bit more, but the texture of the panna cotta might turn out nicer, if that makes sense. Let's see, where did I have it? I hope I at least answer your question a bit, Gary, because the process is kind of like which will be my main ingredient. If I would say I'm trying to here make an apple rum raisin bonbon, apple bonbon. So I'm gonna melt chocolate, and I think the best way to go with this might be white, but it could be milk chocolate as well. It's kind of nice. Then I would make finely sliced brunoise cubes of apple, and I boil that in sugar syrup. The sugar syrup is made out of the rum that has been in the rum raisins, and then I add a little bit of the raisins with the apple cubes, and then I will, stamp and fill it up a little bit, and then I can cover it again with the chocolate, so you got like a Mars bar with apple cubes, or like an apple compote basically, or apple, in this case an apple pie compote. So that's kind of like how my process at the moment is, like, what is my main thing, and what flavor would it add, and how would the flavor add in the whole. Apple bonbon. So you would say before bringing it up. One sec. Let me see if I read this right. So you would say you are looking for ingredients when you shop instead of looking for tissues when you make. And then you will shop. You are looking for ingredients when you shop instead of. Sometimes yes, but so in you can, it's kind of yes. So when I'm doing shopping, and like I said, mushroom risotto, chanterelle risotto is, I think, one of the best examples that I can give. So I wanted to make a chanterelle mushroom. Chanterelles are now in season; they look really beautiful. However, just doing it only from chanterelles and might be a bit more expensive, right? Like you might need 2 kilos instead of 300 grams of chanterelles. Now mushrooms are not that expensive, so the price value might drop it down a little bit, and your risotto might become just as tasty, because you still have the depth on it, and risotto needs stock, so instead of vegetable stock you have a mushroom stock right away out of it, and then the chanterelles you just saute with some butter, rosemary and thyme, and then that will be a nice addition on top of it. So like, instead, it's kind of like I come up with an idea, let's say citrus cheesecake with passion fruit gel. And my idea, normally you would go for, let's say, lemon. Lemon is nice, but lemon is quite strong as well. So then I think, okay, what if I will add lime? Lime is still fresh, it's a little bit less acidic, and the passion fruit can overlap the lime gel or the lime inside the cheesecake, which makes it more of a passion fruit cheesecake instead of a normal cheesecake. Sorry guys, had a little thing. But yeah, because most of the dishes, I will continue. So a lot of the dishes, you start with an idea, as you might know. Um, but when I do shopping from time to time, I kind of come up halfway and like, oh, that would be nice to it, or that would be nice to it, and then the adding stuff to it is pretty easily. But then also the question is how much. If I would add it, it's nice, but how much does it actually add? Um, an example would be, what if you would have tomato salsa with salmon, and then you marinated salmon in a tomato oil or in tomato-based vinaigrette. Then you blitz the tomatoes, but then you have tomato pulp left over. Then you dry those tomatoes, and then on the end of the dish you throw that tomato powder that turns into dust then also on it. So then you got tomato with tomato salsa with tomato marinated fish with tomato powder. That's 3 times tomato, and then you add basil. So like 2 of them are already kind of too much. So I'm kind of make it balanced. So like if I would marinate the fish or the salmon in this case, I would not use a tomato-based marinade. I would go for perhaps basil or rosemary thyme to increase the herbiness, and then have something else to it. So then you have thyme, rosemary, still goes well with tomato, still very Italian. So it will be an extension of, instead of tomato and tomato and tomato. And well, as nice as tomatoes are, there are also quite a big limit on how much tomato you would like in a dish. But that's my personal thought. A lot of like, so what you say like, so like I have a dish in mind often. So like, let's say I will make White chocolate mousse, well, white chocolate mousse on its own might not be that interesting, but soon as pumpkin season, so how can I make it interesting? But once I made the mousse, let's say out of that pumpkin, I would not add another pumpkin gel or something more pumpkin. No, I would like to look into something that would increase or make it more complete. So that might be in granola made out of walnuts and pumpkin seeds, or that you know that fits right with it, or yeah, so like crumble with of pumpkin seeds and walnuts, and I can add more and more to it. But hey, Sunyata, well, not much is going on here. Just I was working on some new ideas for some dishes, what I would like to cook or like use for this channel, what I'm gonna make. So like, let's say October is coming, pumpkin season is coming. So what if I would make a white chocolate mousse made out of pumpkin, and so, or let's say make raviolis made out of pumpkin in the dough and in the mixture. Since it's winter, chestnuts might be becoming a thing as well, with some mushrooms because of the weather. What if I make a tartlet out of that? Just some brainstorming, some ideas to make and to cook for upcoming fall and winter, perhaps probably a bit as well already. So if you got some ideas, feel free to share with me or let me know what you were thinking about. Must say this winter I am not living in the US. I'm living in Finland. I'm from the Netherlands, but I'm living in Finland now for 4 years. And when it comes to Finland, it's very rich here in root vegetables. So I'm kind of trying to come up with ideas already that I could make, like pumpkin roasted. Where did I have it? Yeah, here. Some nice pickled cauliflower puree with it. Some spinach and Brussels sprouts, very fall-like, or honey glazed with honey glazed roasted carrot with some maybe even carrot puree in that case, then with some pumpkin and some roasted walnuts and pickled beetroots, or what else is something nice, what I'm looking forward to, cauliflower wings with gochugaru or sumac, and tartlet, so tart made out of chestnuts with some mushrooms in it. It's very nice. Oh yeah, here, so pumpkin walnut pasta, pumpkin cake would be interesting. Already here, just hang out, listen to some music, and trying to think of something. So like apple bonbon, rum raisins. What did I do? Yeah, rum raisins. Rum syrup, apple compote. Now that we're here, we're gonna make. Now that I think of rum, it's also rum baba, of course. It's really nice. Raisins, perhaps. Yeah. And then make a bonbon out of it. Well, of course, apple strudel is a thing as well. And of course, like pear tatin, for example, tartin, I'm describing this as pears in mulled wine. You know, that very Christmassy drink that you boil them for a while in red wine, but I have actually no real idea yet how to make it, how to describe it differently. I made the other day ginger ale, so I would be if you made blackberries, ginger ale. That could be interesting. Well, Berliner Bowl, of course, is like a donut. No, not donut without a hole in it, without poached pears. Thank you very much, Gary. Poached pears. Berliner Bowl, which is Berliner Bowl is I think an interesting concept, which is are these, and then filled with quincy, which is like a Japanese pear, which is really nice. Thinking about that for in maybe like filled with an what crème pâtissier. So yeah, you know, yellow vanilla cream, fill it up. Very tasty. It's used in the Netherlands. This is kind of like a thing around Christmas, so it's very nice and tasty. So you know, just a few thoughts like that. I'm gonna make a quincy jam, and then just for the not just for the Berliner Bowl, because that came kind of after, but I can fill the Berliner Bowl with the quincy jam as well. Quincy jam. If I look at quincy, it would be these things. They are very tasty. You know, a harder kind of fruit. You can do quite here. Let's see, healthy. You can see it's an apple-like. Great for jams, sweet flavors. I don't need much sugars, aromatic. So jam with this with your cheese platter would be very nice. But you know, maybe I'm gonna fill this up with Berliner Bowl. That would be also an interesting idea. Things like that. It's so if you have some ideas or like things like, I had this the other day, then bring it up. It's doesn't matter to me if you want sweet or savory. I can make quincy jam. See, hey, you know what I'm talking about. Like quincy jams are really, really great. So that will be then a thing as well that I will be just showing here. And quincy doesn't have a lot of liquid, so I will be showing like kind of how to make it and like things around it. I made lemon jam like a few months ago, and what I did was just the really old way by just having lemons and put the pectin sugar on top of it, and it became a jelly like all on its own, even without I didn't even need to boil it, and it was so pure and rich in flavor. It was good. So I might do that with some pears. Maybe make even a mixture of like pears and quincies, so that you have the pear will release the juices, and so what makes it into a jam, and then the quincies will only give more extra sweetness to it, or like more flavor to it. It might be just an idea, but it's worth trying. I will be making perhaps a coffee dark chocolate dessert, something nice with that. Make dark chocolate mousse with, or maybe coffee cream and a dark chocolate mousse with walnut, or like with a nut crumble. Perhaps do at least not make tiramisu, but there are a lot more things that you can do with chocolate, and also a lot more with what is it? Coffee. Maybe I will make. Ooh, maybe I will make that. Would be nice as well. Millionaire shortbreads. Shortbread, which will basically be a short crust at the bottom, and then caramel, and then you can Gary, you know your classic, you know what's going on, caramel, or like a sea salt caramel, or like what, depending on the flavor that you want to add, of course, and then a lovely chocolate on top. Chocolate on top. It looks, let me show you. Millionaire's shortbread. So kind of like this. So you have like your biscuit at the bottom, and you caramel and chocolate. It's a really rich dessert, or a cake, depending on how you want it. But it can be really tasty. And then just add some vanilla ice cream, or like just a little something. It's so maybe I will make coffee cream, so coffee infused with cream, and use that cream to make a caramel out of it, and then use that, spread it out on the tray, and then add the lovely chocolate on top of it. That might be actually a pretty good idea. I'm gonna add that to the list. So coffee caramel. And so yes, this is kind of like if I walk through the store, like this is kind of like how it goes. Like I'm starting with an idea, like shortbread, and then like, oh, but what if I make coffee out of or caramel out of the coffee, or like do a little bit different on it? And then, well, in this case it will work, but if I add like 4 or 5 6 different flavors to it, it might be a little bit turning out too much. But chocolate souffle will be shorted. Chocolate souffle will be, this is something that I will be making, so keep an eye on that as well. Like, I would say, it's very cheeky to say, I know this, but subscribe, and a lot of the dishes will be most definitely being made. So I would say subscribe, or keep your, why is this so big? I would say subscribe to it, and take an eye out for it. Nice.
and this probably will be a thing that I will do every month, not every week. Like, don't get me wrong, every week would be quite much, but every month I probably will be doing this, so that like include you for or like include everybody for ideas what to make or how to come up with it, and give perhaps suggestions what to make, or like something interesting that you tasted or saw somewhere that you would love. Oh, you could want to know. So which endives are so Gary? I have a thingy. It's about endives. Do you mean this one, or do you mean this one? Because if you mean this one, it's actually, yeah. So I know for me it's all the same. I'm used for years doing this, but did you know that this is actually more of a summer thing? Like in I know they are in winter really popular with dishes, but it's actually more of a summer thing. Or at least in the Netherlands, they are dirt cheap. They are €5 for a kilo. That's where in winter they are like 15 for a kilo. So it's quite interesting to see a difference. But cherry, would you do only cherry, or would you go with plum as well? Yeah, like it's actually here, this one. Like, so it go. So I will enhance this a bit. No, fuck. So I'm gonna do it like this then. Oh, so like give it a look. So like in January, like, if I'm reading this right, like the season might be lowest, but usually here they are. Like I always see them. Might be because of they cannot get rid of them, or like they are so cheap around this time of the year because the new ones are coming. You know what I mean? Like they are here like so much in supply that they can keep the price up, but because here the new ones are coming, that they need to lower the price, like just almost give it away. Like in the summer in the Netherlands, like I can actually, I think I can show you. Yeah, here, like at the moment they are like €5 for a kilo. So that would translate euro to dollar. At the moment they're like $5 for a kilo. I would say that's cannot really get cheaper than that though. I would go pretty cheap than that. We were here. duck with cherry, duck with plum. And thanks to your cherry, I came up with an idea as well with the beetroot. See, so now I have an end dish in mind as well. So like duck, beetroot with licorice root syrup, or like beetroot dried and then boiled in licorice syrup with cherry sauce. That might actually be an interesting combination. And with plum, duck, plum, Asian. We'll go more into an Asian direction, so I can worry about that one later. Actually, since we are in duck, then I can also like duck jerky or like dried salted preserved duck. See? Could make a new video out of that as well. So, see? That would be pretty interesting to see. Or I don't know if it would be interesting, but it's not your usual flavor combination. Oh, Gary, since you're so active as well, I don't know if you have watched any of the videos yet, but the equipment that I got at home, it's a lot like fine dining as well. I got my own sous vide machine or sous vide stick, and also pressure cooker. So there are almost no ideas that you cannot throw at me, and I won't figure it out. So like pressure cooker, I know amazing how to work sous vide, so slow cooking and perfect steaks and stuff like that, and very sensitive temperatures things I know as well. So like duck jerky, I made once before. I cooked the duck at till it was medium, so to make sure that it was cooked, at least still a little bit pink. And what I did then, after I cooled it down, I just threw and wrapped it up in a cloth and with salt all around it, and just let it be in the fridge for like a month. And it was still really, really good. So like any ideas like that, I can, if you would like to see, then you can, make that as well, or at least suggest me as well. Actually had plums got home with plums today. I was thinking of making a plum tartlet, very thinly sliced and then wrapped all over the bottom, so that it's like literally wrapping it up instead of showing half plums on it, like not just half plums on the bottom. Yeah, yeah, that's it's really, yeah. I made I tried something the other day, and I'm gonna make a video on it later. But as you might know gravlax and something like the cured fish or the cured salmon, and I actually had I asked some colleagues about it. So like, why do you add lemon and dill through the salt mixture if you cure it only for 24 hours? Because the salt pulls the liquid away, as you might know. That's the reason why it's preserving the texture. But it's not like the dill or the lemon or the lime goes in it. Like, so like if you have a whole fillet, like a whole side of a salmon, after 24 hours, that salmon is not yet, it doesn't have lime or lemon flavor to it. Like the salt or the liquid is barely out. So why would you add it to it? And so I tried it at home and I bought like one of those supermarket packages of salmon. And it was like 450 grams. And I threw it on with salt and sugar, a little bit more salt, nothing dissolved basically, or like not a lot dissolved. And after 2 days, the lemon tasted it, or you tasted the lemon through it, but not yet the dill. So it was like, so why am I like? But it was swimming in it, and meanwhile as well, it was completely dry. Let's see if I can find a picture of it. It was not completely dry. It was pretty. Yeah, well, I mean, it was pretty damn dry. Not gonna lie, it was pretty salty as well. But meanwhile, it's like it did really good its thing. So like after 2 days, after I it took basically took one piece of salmon, so like this. So I took one piece of salmon, 2 days. So this piece had 2 days with lemon and dill on it, and it got this dry. See how much water and dill it's in there, and you can see some salt here at the bottom. So I was like, restaurants are pretty nice and they say preserved salmon, but if this happens to this size of a fish, right, this size of a salmon, then no way in hell that a whole salmon belly or an entire salmon side will get that same result for after what is it, after 24 hours, if this needs already, if, yeah, this already needs 2 days. I could not believe that. So that will be another video that I will look into, and that is up and coming actually. That would be cured salmon with horseradish cream. I'm not sure about the horseradish, but salted lemon will be used, and some apple brunoise. So it will be like a starter. Oh yeah, what was it? Salted lemon yogurt sauce, and then cucumber juice on top of it, and then yeah, some apple and what was it? Horseradish or apple or cucumber will be added to it. So it will be fresh cucumber juice, salted lemon mixed with yogurt, Greek yogurt, and then cucumber juice, and then maybe pickled apples or a mix of pickled and fresh apples. And then the salted lemon goes through the yogurt so that it has some freshness and saltiness to it. Cucumber juice stays fresh, and then apple is just the apple. I made also a video the other day, or well, besides a video, I also write a blog, so like for interactions like this, and I actually say to, like, I say this to quite a lot of people, or quite some people, that you actually, like, if you want to cook good meals or decent meals nowadays, you know, then you just buy an, you know, sous vide stick. It might be really surprising, but if you have one, then you can basically cook so much food beforehand already, and you can just spend time out of the kitchen. You know, like you just prepare it and then you leave it running for an hour, maybe two. Like the salmon, if you cook salmon on 40 degrees for 2 hours, it doesn't do more. So as long as you have it in there, and you can use Ziploc bags like really easily, there's a hack for it. Then you can cook it. You put it on 40 degrees, and if it's an hour or 2 hours, that salmon will not reach a higher degrees than 40 degrees. Then you will, then you can just just walk away, do your grocery shoppings, go to the gym, go whatever other reason you have that you normally don't have time to cook for, or say that you don't have to cook, and just uh, spend maybe not time in the kitchen, but spend time differently while your protein is getting ready. So like if you have it on 40 degrees, or maybe even let's say 50, right, 50 for an hour, then or 2 hours, that's more than fine. The salmon doesn't have with any of it. You hit the gym, you do some grocery shoppings after that, and then you just enjoy the what is it? You enjoy after that very tasty food because the quality doesn't go down, and it tastes so soft and tender that it's actually worth it. And either if it's like for chicken, or for beef, or for pork, or even if it's just for a chicken snack, you can just spend so much time to it. Like you can spend your time so differently with it. I think it's totally worth it. I bought it. It was maybe a bit expensive then back in the time because it was in 2019 that I bought it, something like that. But it's totally worth it. If I have like 2 kilos of chicken, or like 1.5 kilo, and expiration date is like in 2 days, then I just cook everything already. Then it's cooked. Then it doesn't get spoiled, and then I can make food out of it for the next 2 days or 3 days even. Makes it very convenient to have it. Oh yeah. Let's see. Yes. Yeah, so I wrote that, got that. Let's see. I must say, this looks actually quite good already. I think I can make quite a decent amount of recipes with this. At least to start off with. Maybe next month we do another one. If I need some ideas again. But Gary, I highly recommend you subscribe to the channel. Like you will see that there will be a lot of videos and a lot of great ideas that might. Are you a great cook, Gary, or decent cook? Oh, then I most definitely. I keep saying this to you, I know, but I really recommend you to. Oh, nice, nice. Well, I would say. Um, I said this a few times before already as well, but just subscribe to the channel. You will see a lot of interesting videos coming. Also, I already made some. Also, reshooting a few from before. Easy. I There are a lot of programs, a lot of things that are up and coming actually. Like, let's see what I got. I'm gonna make a coq au vin in two different ways soon. One with a pressure cooker, where I'm putting in the effort for making a chicken stock and those things, as well as an easy one that you normally make in one go at home. Put everything in a pot and things like that. I'm gonna make next week a sourdough focaccia, mainly made out of sourdough flour and water, like no yeast or anything. So 3 ingredients only, which will be amazing. Um, a blackcurrant pie. I'm gonna make moussaka. Um, uh, Peach pie, of course, when it's coming. Tomorrow I will make a Finnish summer soup, which is my first time ever making it, which will be kind of like a thing here. Besides that, I got blueberry pie, which is the blueberries, Finnish blueberries from the forest, actually. Um, I'm gonna make a salmon soup at some point. A Basque cheesecake, well, the cured salmon I told you about. Beef stroganoff in two different ways as well, making fancy way and making it, how you would make it at home, just or maybe even 3 ways. That would be madness. So like one, everything in a pot cooked. Two would be with a pressure cooker, and three will be like a very culinary version out of it. Well, as you see, been drinking like my homemade ginger ale for quite a bit now already, that I made the other day, like a week ago. I just released a video about that as well, how easy it actually is. There are some chanterelle risotto will be coming out next week as well, where it is very tasty, where I'm actually showing how I made that risotto, which is a few chanterelles and just a lot of normal mushrooms to give the flavor to it. It's I hope at least that it's a lot of informative ways of how to think and how to do stuff, and well, I hope it's kind of interesting. But I must say that the best way is also uh, learning is the best way, like making the mistakes and then just ask questions how you would do it. A lot of people are like often too scared or nervous or too shy to ask. I kind of am, or let's say I am. Um, I try to preserve or learn a lot more than I'm actually knowing at the moment. I just never have really tried, or I don't. So, like 4 years ago, I moved to this amazing country, Finland, which has a lot of beautiful mushrooms, but I never really. I did it maybe twice because none of my colleagues are really wanted to do, or like it was not the right moment and stuff like that. But I really like it. Um, Preserves are like mind blowing. I cannot understand, or like I. So from a chef perspective, right? This is kind of mind blowing. A lot of restaurants are doing the same. So, for example, you cannot serve strawberries in the winter. right? Or like the only ones that you serve are the frozen ones. Nobody likes that. But how I started to think recently is like, well, if you cannot, get them fresh, then why not buy a shit ton of strawberries in the summer and preserve them, and not preserving as in the freezer, but put them in sugar or salt, or like sugar salt, or like whatever works, and then you have a super fresh strawberry dessert in the winter. Like, how would that be if you actually would do something like that? And a lot of chefs are kind of against it because we don't have the space, and reasons like that, and you cannot serve strawberries in the winter because it's not their best moment. But I think preserving makes it so much more interesting. That's kind of like, so Finland was, and Nordics in general, like the Viking stuff and shit like that, were so into preserving that it's kind of like a reason why I came here. And it surprises me how less are using it. Nobody really uses it, but I'm gonna try to make even my like, exactly. That's exactly how I was thinking. So why are you not like, if I would now get a shitload of strawberries or whatever, then why would I not just, if the strawberries are now like, let's say, 3 euros, 3 euros, $5 a kilo, let's say. That's not really prime price, and strawberry season is kind of ended. So why would I not buy so much of them now and then make a nice dessert out of it by preserving them around, let's say, October, November, right? Preserving them for 2 months, not too much sugar because then you get the alcohol reaction, but just with some salt so that it stays in its liquid. That would be so good. I'm totally down with you on this one. I'm really looking into it, and I'm really learning it. That's why I'm kind of like, I made this ginger ale. Like, this is a really tasty ginger ale, and it's not complicated to make. But now I'm kind of like, what if I would do the same for? I worked actually for a year, like, or 2 years. No, for a year. But some stuff happened. For a restaurant that earned the Green Michelin star. So that was also really into sustainability and sourcing, and we got a lot of our stuff from their own garden, which was really great. Only, well, there were some complications to it, but and that is kind of why I'm now leaning more into this, in this entire YouTube content creator thing, because I'm trying to show, or want to show, like, how nice it actually can be. Like, oh, you have beautiful strawberries. Well, preserve it, and then, or like, I didn't preserve them now, but like, let's say if I, next year, then when I got like, let's say 100 more videos out there, then I will show as well that can be really interesting, and just slowly grow more and more and more. And like I told you about the risotto, like, the normal button mushrooms are not expensive, but the chanterelles that you get from the forest in this time of the year, because it's now been raining for a few months, are super tasty. So I bought, like, even though it was just 300 grams from them, I only used them to saute them. And then the base of my risotto was just normal mushrooms. Like, you, once you make the stock out of it, you cannot really taste the chanterelles. You don't taste the flavor out of it in the stock, or at least 9 out of 10 people don't. Like, a mushroom stock tastes like a mushroom stock. Either you use chanterelles, button mushrooms, white mushrooms, shiitakes. It's still just a stock. It's still just a tea. So my hero of that dish was actually the the chanterelle mushrooms. Here, I can show you which ones I had. I will show you the. Was this the video recording? Yes. I will show you the video and recording that I have of it, what I made out of it, and then the picture. So there was this. Like these came straight from the forest, like these ones. Yeah, yeah, man. I'm looking for that. But like, look at these beautiful. Like this looks beautiful, right? And I can tell you that this was literally 5 normal mushrooms, and then the chanterelles. And so, like, here, this is how it looked. And doesn't this look like really nice, right? Like nice and bright chanterelles. And that's what I all did to it. This was all. Like, and then the result was, I'll show you the results. Like if I had this, so here the mushrooms, here the normal risotto, this part, you wouldn't, oh thanks man, you would not taste like chanterelles from this, right? Like from just this risotto. Like that, this risotto is just, you know, your basic mushroom risotto. So this is a rump, an inner roast that I had from the pressure cooker. A video about it is there. I thought it added to it. It was so nice depth in flavor. And all I do is just add the beautiful forest chanterelles to it that I just fried a bit. It's literally nothing more, and not mix it. No, I put it on top so you can see. It's like a hero or like a main thing on the dish, and I'm like, it's kind of easy, but yeah, that's how it started with the. In this case, it started with the idea of chanterelle risotto, and then I was like, oh, why would I waste chanterelles in the stock or like in the base in the risotto that I fry for like 20 minutes? Like, why would I not just fry it separately? But then, of course, I needed another component or to give the mushroom that flavor. And like you said, as before, like I did do shop for I do shop for a dish, but then it became like I shop for an ingredient, because which ingredient would, you know, go along or enhance really well with the chanterelles. Now, what is better than just your basic mushrooms? They're flavorful, they're strong, it's a stock, so they're cheap, so you know it doesn't cost that much. And overall, I didn't eat. I spent maybe $15, and I had 3 days. I had maybe 4 plates of food. Like, are you serious? Like that's basically like that's basically €4 for a day of food for dinner, and it's really restaurant quality worthy, and that's kind of like the direction that I want to go on, or am I going? So if you want to see more of that, then you know, feel free. Like now, cloudberry season is there as well. So I most definitely will get some cloudberries, and I might try even to preserve those as well. They leak already pretty quick, sadly enough. Like they lose a lot of liquid really fast. So they're kind of preserving in their own. But of course I will try to, you know, preserve them even more. But you know, more of these things will be coming soon. Like next upcoming Thursday will be so next week, Thursday, what is it? The 10th, the risotto will be published. So I would say subscribe and or like keep an eye on it, and you will see, man. A lot of these things will come out. Upcoming Tuesday will be a recipe where I use the thicker cucumbers. to making kimchi out of it. And just basically now that kimchi is now in my cabin for like uh, 2 weeks now. It's just those cucumbers. I always forget the name. Kuku. Mhm. These ones. These bigger, thicker, stumbly cucumbers. You usually use for pickles. I made kimchi out of those. And with some carrot. So basically, it's just a 2 ingredient kimchi. But I made it just with some soy, mirin, and gochujang. So it's vegan, completely vegan, and it's there for now like 2 weeks already, and it tastes really good, and it doesn't die. So like, it's really I'm really into preserving and things like that, and yeah, I hope that like once I kick off a little bit, hit hit some heights that I will get also foraging man and like more of those things, because that will be so fucking amazing. But Gary, I need to go for now, or like I need to be going in a bit. Let's see. And nice talk to you, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you very much, Ben, and I hope to see you soon. Have a nice day.